Welcome to Spiritual Awakening Radio, program number 661 in the HealthyLife.net CHSR series. My name is James Bean. Today's program is a bit different, as it is dedicated to the history of the Path of the Masters, something I occasionally do. In the past, I've done programs on the origins of Sant Mat, and this is my other major academic type paper on the history of the path. It's called or titled Maharaj Girdhari Sahib, the Unknown Guru of Radhaswami History. So I want to enter this into the public record today and call attention to this rare history of the Path of the Masters, or Sant Mat, a guru of the lineage that few have heard of. It's important to preserve the history for future generations. It's based on an article published, a paper published in Sachkhand, the Journal of Radhaswami Studies, produced by Professor David Christopher Lane, MSAC Philosophy Group. It's also an ebook, which you'll find at academia.edu, the Internet Archive at archive.org. I have it at Medium, WordPress, and the Sant Mat blog at Blogger as well. So if some of these footnotes kind of escape you, or you want to read, get the written version complete with footnotes and quotation marks and all of the references in full, request a copy of the ebook version or the online version of this, if you like. Maharaj Girdhari Sahib, the Unknown Guru of Radhaswami History, a spiritual successor of Sant Tulsi Sahib, the great-grandfather and founding guru of modern-day Sant Mat, as well as a spiritual successor of Sant Tulsi Sahib and another guru of Soamiji Maharaj. Maharaj Girdhari Sahib, the Unknown Guru of Radhaswami History, a spiritual successor of Sant Tulsi Sahib, and another guru of Soamiji Maharaj. For many years, some scholars and others curious about Sant Mat history have been puzzled by references in early Radhaswami literature to a living master that Soamiji Maharaj associated with and apparently was very devoted to. His name was Girdhari Sahib, sometimes called Girdhari Lal. However, little was known about this particular guru or his actual status in either Tulsi Sabi or the earliest of Radhaswami communities. But with the advent of Facebook, where you have Indians and Westerners for the first time on the same network, with the advent of the World Wide Web and a growing population of English-speaking Indians getting online, including devotees of various Sant Mat centers all over India, many new avenues of information are starting to open up. It's now becoming much easier to correspond with individuals affiliated with any number of spiritual communities in the Sant Mat category that up to now have been kind of off limits, have been considered virtually unknown in the Western world. Ashrams affiliated with various guru lineages associated with Kabir, Guru Nanak, Dadu Dayal, the Sri Paramhans Advait Mat group, Sant Darya Sahib of Bihar and the Darya Panth, Sant Tulsi Sahib of Hathras, and a plethora of Radhaswami communities are even creating official websites and Facebook pages or groups. New books and ebooks are appearing. Web pages containing excerpts from rare documents are starting to appear. Is there evidence that Baba Girdhari Sahib was a guru in the Tulsi Sahib community? Yes, there is, and according to several different independent sources, different branches of Sant Mat. The Sant Tulsi Sahib Mandir in Hathras and the Sant Girdhari Sahib Mandir or Ashram of Lucknow provide some clues about this. From my direct experience corresponding with various followers affiliated with the Tulsi Sahib group, I am told that Girdhari Sahib became a spiritual successor guru of Tulsi Sahib, founding an ashram and spiritual mission based in Lucknow, known as the Sant Girdhari Sahib Mandir. I'm sure Girdhari's background was that of a sadhu, like some of those early Agra Radhaswami books emphasize, but clearly he is described by the Tulsi Sahib Satsang as becoming a guru successor, not just remaining a sadhu, monk, initiating representative, or elder satsangi brother. He has been referred to not only as Param Sant, but also with terms like Sri, Mahatma, Baba, and Maharaj by various ashrams connected with Tulsi Sahib and Radhaswami. Satsangis from the Tulsi Sahib group tell me there are 5 major ashram centers directly associated with the legacy of Tulsi Sahib, one in Hathras, one in Lucknow, and others in nearby cities. Each wali or mandir or ashram has a line of masters, a line of gurus up to the living present. I have photos of many of these gurus, as well as photos of icons of some of the earlier ones. According to some documents Dayal Bagh, the secretary of Dayal Bagh at Agra, sent me a while back, the Hathras guru, known as Mahantji, or his actual name was Guru Dayal Das, attended the Spear Khan 2010 Interfaith Sant Mat conclave in Agra. He has since passed on, and the current guru at the Hathras Mandir is now Sri Misra Das. The understanding that Girdhari was a successor guru in the Tulsi Sahib Sangat, and that he should also be acknowledged as a guru that Soamiji Maharaj associated with, is not a new idea, is not something that I invented. It's something I've read about for years in the scholarly works of others, but I did find some other references to him in some of these newly discovered, newly appeared documents, and put those all together, and it became the basis for this paper I wrote, Maharaj Girdhari Sahib, the Unknown Guru of Radhaswami, or Sant Mat. Let's examine briefly what others have already said about Maharaj Girdhari Sahib of Lucknow and Seth Shiv Dayal Singh, also known as Soamiji Maharaj or Sant Radhasoami Saheb. This is an entry from the book Hinduism, an alphabetical guide by Roshan Dalal, an entry for Tulsi Sahib in this book, Hinduism, an alphabetical guide. Tulsi Sahib, a guru of the 18th to 19th centuries, who founded a sect known as Sahib Panth. His chief disciples included Ramakrishna, not to be confused with other people by that same name, Ramakrishna, a shepherd, Girdhari Lal, also known as Girdhari Das, and Sir Swami. Tulsi died in 1843, and his disciples carried on his teachings, unquote. Professor Mark Juergensmeyer, in Radhaswami Reality, quote, Girdhari Das is described as being the, quote, chief disciple of Tulsi Sahib, a term that would usually imply he was understood as his designated successor. And he refers here to Pratap Singh Seth, biography of Soamiji Maharaj, page 108, as his source for the term, the description, chief disciple of Tulsi Sahib, according to Pratap Singh Seth. After Tulsi Sahib's death, Swami Shiv Dayal brought Girdhari Das into his home, treated him with love, and accorded him respect due to a pious Mahatma, another reference from Pratap Singh Seth's biography of Soamiji Maharaj on page 37. Swamiji Maharaj treated Girdhari Das as his guru, as well as donated and gave, quote, substantial material support, unquote, to his spiritual mission for a number of years, according to the biography of Swamiji Maharaj, and according to Daniel Gold in The Lord as Guru. Hindi sants in the North Indian tradition. There is also another source which we will explore in detail later in this article and program that confirms Swamiji Maharaj attended the satsang of Maharaj Girdhari Sahib for, quote, a very long period of time. Actually, from the time of Tulsi Sahib's death to the dying days of Girdhari Sahib in August of 1860. In other words, during that entire period, Swamiji was associated with this particular successor of Tulsi Sahib, and we've got various references to that association between those two. Agra branches of Radhaswami. There are a few different documents from Agra Radhaswami sources that describe Girdhari Das as chief disciple of Tulsi Sahib. In the Sangit, or spiritual community founded by Sant Tulsi Sahib, we know there were several gurus to choose from after Tulsi Sahib's passing. The reference to Saraswami, Girdhari Das, and Ramakrishna I mentioned earlier. For the Radhaswami literature to preserve the understanding that Baba Girdhari Sahib in particular was, quote, the chief disciple of Tulsi Sahib, this, in my view, likely reflects Swamiji's own understanding of him. Of course, Swamiji may also have revered other masters too, such as Saraswami, who was the next guru at the Ashram in Hathras. But Baba Girdhari Sahib is the guru that Swamiji supported monetarily, physically, spent time with, and only he is specifically named and described as chief disciple in the writings published by various Radhaswami groups. Actually, Swamiji had a home not only in Agra, but one in Lucknow. And in Swamiji's home in Lucknow, Girdhari lived. That became the home base for the satsang in Lucknow, in Swamiji's other house in Lucknow. According to the biography of Babuji Maharaj, Swamiji Maharaj used to treat Baba Girdhari Das Ji, who was one of the chief disciples of Sahabji, or Tulsi Sahib of Hathras, as guru. In the biography of Swamiji Maharaj by Lala Pratap Singh Seth, we read, quote, Girdhari Das Ji was one of the sadhus who were followers of Tulsi Sahib. He was a great devotee and spiritual practitioner. Swamiji Maharaj treated him with love and accorded him respect due to a pious Mahatma. For a number of years, Swamiji lodged him in one of his houses, this is the house in Lucknow, and supplied him food, clothing, etc., unquote. The biography of Swamiji Maharaj mentions the city of Lucknow as being the location where Girdhari spent most of his time. And when Girdhari was about to pass away, Swamiji traveled to Lucknow to be with him and spent time with him in intense meditation. Quote, both the female disciples of Girdhari Das came running to Swamiji and requested him to save his guru, unquote. That's on page 376 of the biography of Babuji Maharaj. There is even a story told that Swamiji helped Girdhari at death's door to reconnect with the sound current, thus postponing his death briefly. There is a belief in Sant Mat that at the time of death, the sound current, like the soul, begins to withdraw from the body. So by restoring the sound current, again, it's buying some time, a bit more time to be with his teacher. Some interested in the history of Sant Mat find it to not be a coincidence that only after Baba Girdhari Sahib left the scene did Swamiji Maharaj officially and openly begin his own public spiritual mission based in Agra, and soon thereafter began holding a public satsang. This was in 1861, the opening of the doors of the Radhaswami satsang in Agra. Another guru was next in line at the ashram in Lucknow after Girdhari's death. From correspondence with satsangis affiliated with the Lucknow ashram, I am informed that this is the line of their gurus, the Lucknow Mandir lineage. Sri Girdhari Sahib to Sri Dayal Sahib to Sri Siva Sahib, and at present, Sri Hari Charan Sahib is the living teacher at the Sant Girdhari Mandir in Lucknow. Professor David Christopher Lane, Aaron Tulsky, and some other Indian scholars, plus Daniel Gold. David Lane in the Radhaswami tradition writes, historically, it would be interesting to find out when Girdhari Das passed away. Note the Girdhari Das Shiv Dayal Singh connection, though rarely if ever mentioned by Sant Mat historians, has not escaped the watchful eye of two of Radhaswami's youngest scholars, Daniel Gold and Aaron Tulsky. As Tulsky speculates, a provocative possibility is that Shiv Dayal did not begin his public ministry during this interval of 1843 through 1861, either because he was sensitive to the status of Girdhari Das as a reputed successor to Tulsi Sahib, or indeed followed the latter in some way as his spiritual successor, in other words. We can discover that the two had a close relationship, and then he makes reference here to Chachaji's brief description of this relationship in the biography of Soami Ji Maharaj. More enlightening, perhaps, is the fact that Chachaji's narration of the inauguration of public satsang in 1861 immediately follows his description of the death of Girdhari. Finally, the Tulsi or Tulsi Sahib Panth, which developed after the death of the Hathras Sant, asserts not only that Swamiji venerated Girdhari, but sometimes that he actually received his updesh, or spiritual instruction, from him. And then he refers to some Indian scholars that, of course, have access to lots more in Hindi than we do in English, describing this association between Soami Ji Maharaj of the Radhaswami Satsang and Sant Girdhari Sahib of the Tulsi Sahib group. And that's discussed in the book The Radhaswami Tradition, A Critical History of Guru Succession, published by Garland Publishing, a book by Professor David Christopher Lane. And some other scholars, too, are referred to in that book, some other Indian scholars. The exact death date for Sant Girdhari and what it reveals. If Swamiji Maharaj was a kind of spiritual successor of Girdhari, it would be very interesting to know the death date of Girdhari, because usually when a master passes on, the successors emerge and begin to carry on, function as master, give satsang talks, initiate people, and so on. So to know that exact death date of Girdhari is a very important thing. I recently asked some disciples of the Lucknow satsang for the date of Girdhari's passing, a very important day for them, which they commemorate each year, as is often the case. Kirpal Singh's birth, Kirpal Singh's passing, Swamiji's birth, Swamiji's passing. Guru days like that are usually commemorated by their followers. This is the date they gave me, the exact death date for Maharaj Girdhari Sahib, I'll skip the part about the Hindu calendar, but it translates into August of 1860 as being the death date of Girdhari Sahib. This date also coincides with Tulsi Das Jayanti, the commemoration of the birthday of Sant Tulsi Das. This day on our calendar, which would vary each year from a day sometime in late July to sometime in mid-August, according to our calendar. Only a few months later, during the same year, according to the Hindu calendar, is when Swamiji Maharaj began his public mission and opened the satsang in Agra, opened the doors to the public of the satsang in Agra. During that same period, Girdhari's successor in Lucknow, Sri Dayal Sahib, began his ministry as guru at the Lucknow Mandir. What had been the one Tulsi Sahib group associated with Girdhari, with a satsang in Agra and one in Lucknow, became two distinct groups, one branch continuing in Lucknow, headed by Sri Dayal Sahib, and the other one based in Agra, led by Soamiji Maharaj. Now, a couple of footnotes here before we take a break. I do in this article document Soamiji Maharaj's association with Tulsi Sahib, how Tulsi Sahib was his initiating guru, and we've documented already about his a little bit about his association with and support for Girdhari Sahib as Tulsi's successor. And there's a lot more documentation about that association, showing that it was one group, a Tulsi Sahib Sant Mat group with various satsangs. And Soamiji Maharaj was active as an initiating guru in Agra prior to 1861, prior to 1860, prior to the death of Girdhari Sahib. So I do address how that can be, how that works in this particular group, the Tulsi Sahib Satsang. Sometimes you have new gurus functioning as guru even before the death of the guru that appointed them. I'll go into that and provide that as you stay tuned. You're hearing Spiritual Awakening Radio. The history of Sant Mat is my focus today. Stay tuned for more after this break. Maharaj Girdhari Sahib, the unknown guru of Radhaswami history, today on Spiritual Awakening Radio. Some footnotes to my footnotes, some follow-up comments to the first segment before I move on to cover more things. 2 points. Swamiji's home in Lucknow and Swamiji's home at Panagali in Agra. Soamiji Maharaj was already functioning as a spiritual master, initiating people prior to 1861 with the opening to the public of the Radhaswami Satsang, and prior to August of 1860 and the death of Girdhari Sahib. How can this be? For some, succession always should play out the same way every time. One succession should always be like another. Many imagine that all successions from one master to the next in Sant Mat must be identical to how it was in 1948 when Hazur Baba Sawan Singh passed on. There is the death of the master, someone publicly reads out a will, naming a spiritual successor. That person assumes the role of guru, begins his satsang talks and public functioning as guru, initiating people and so on. But it doesn't always have to be that way. Succession happens differently in some places. It isn't the same every time, everywhere. For instance, with Baba Fakir Chand appointed several spiritual successors who functioned as gurus prior to his death by a few years. It's also true in the Tulsi Sahib group that it works that way. For instance, Swami Vyasanand became a functioning guru, went on trips, tours, taught people, gave satsang, initiated souls, had 2 ashrams built prior to, several years prior to, a decade prior to the death of his mentoring guru, Swami Sant Soamiji Maharaj. So in other words, Swami Vyasanand was already established, already had ashrams, already was giving satsang, and was very much established before the passing of Swami Sant Soamiji Maharaj. And I believe that succession in the case of Swamiji Maharaj very much was like that. He was already functioning as master, already initiating souls, even though his mentoring guru was still alive. And so in Kirpal Singh's book about the life of Baba Jamail Singh, you find Baba Jamail Singh having his first encounter with Swamiji's satsang back in the mid-1850s. It was a kind of closed circuit affair, a kind of by invitation only, sort of quiet home satsang. But nevertheless, Swamiji Maharaj was holding satsang, initiating people. Swamiji also was giving some public talks at a Sikh temple or Gurdwara in Agra for a time, and had his home satsang at Panagali in Agra, and initiated some people there downstairs in this meditation room within a room. Would you like to see some photos of that room within a room? It's a sacred site. You can see photos of the whole house, including that meditation room downstairs in Swamiji's house in Agra, where Baba Jamail Singh got initiated, where others got initiated as well. You can see photos, request photos of those if you like. Downstairs in the basement, Swamiji's meditation room within a room, a kind of cave on demand that he spent many years meditating. That was his meditation spot, a very sacred site in the Radhaswami tradition. And so that satsang, in a quiet home satsang sort of way, was already functioning long before the passing of Girdhari Sahib in 1860. And that very much fits in with how succession operates in the Tulsi Sahib group and also in the Baba Fakir Chand group as well. Another point, Swamiji's other home was in Lucknow and served as the headquarters, home base, for the Tulsi Sahib Satsang there, headed by Maharaj Girdhari Sahib. Now, I am not aware about what's going on there nowadays. If that home is also preserved as a sacred site, like Swamiji's house in Agra, or if it got sold off or, disappeared long ago. Don't know. Just don't know. But I am hoping that it got preserved as a sacred site, or that Swamiji's house in Lucknow got incorporated into the ashram on the same grounds. It would be nice to know. That is something I would love to learn about. Is it still there somewhere in Lucknow, preserved as a sacred site? I would just love to discover someone going to Lucknow or already residing in Lucknow with a great phone, with a fairly decent camera that could go take some photos of it. Wouldn't that be awesome? Indeed, indeed. If that home is still there, preserved as a sacred site. Sant Girdhari Sahib's house, which actually was owned by Soamiji Maharaj, that served as the early headquarters of the satsang in Lucknow. Is it still there? Is it still preserved? Is it part of the ashram, or at least in the same city? It would be great to discover the answer to that question and see some photos of it. Indeed, indeed. Anyway, my overall point is that you have a Tulsi Sahib satsang with branches in different cities. And, there's the Agra satsang headed by Swamiji Girdhari Sahib in Lucknow, Sir Swami Sahib in Hathras, and other gurus and guru lineages in other cities. And then after 1860, they all kind of go in their own directions. You have the establishment of the Radhaswami Satsang in 1861 with Swamiji going public with his spiritual mission there based in Agra. After the break, we'll delve into Baba Devi Sahib's encounter with Huzur Maharaj Rai Salagram of the Radhaswami faith. They had a discussion one day about Swamiji and the gurus that he was affiliated with. Stay tuned for more Spiritual Awakening Radio coming up after this break. Sant Girdhari Sahib, the unknown guru of Radhaswami, Part 1, today on Spiritual Awakening Radio. All of these Sant Mat groups are connected with the same path. All are one. And I'm about to share with you an encounter where they all come together. Tulsi Sahib group, Maharishi Mehi branch, Girdhari Sahib, Radhaswami, all touching, all connecting in this historic account, revealing an earlier association, all part of the same group founded by Tulsi Sahib originally. This association of Shiv Dayal Singh or Sant Radhasoami Sahib with Param Sant Dayal Sri 108 Girdhari Sahib, as he is known in the Lucknow Satsang, is now independently verified by yet another source, another branch of Sant Mat. The following is from the biography of Baba Devi Sahib, published by the Maharishi Mehi Ashram, located near the Ganges at Kapaguts, Bhagalpur in Bihar district, India. Connected with the lineage of Baba Devi Sahib and Maharishi Mehi Paramhans, a branch of the Tulsi Sahib Satsang, but one that's not really close to the Girdhari Satsang in Lucknow. In other words, they are not affiliated directly with the Girdhari Sahib Ashram in Lucknow. They barely have any knowledge of their existence. Not much interaction between the Lucknow Satsang and the Maharishi Mehi group, but fortunately, their history has preserved some vitally important evidence. Baba Devi Sahib, the devotee who would eventually publish the great work known as the Gat Ramayan, the great spiritual classic of Tulsi Sahib, who was blessed as an infant by Tulsi Sahib, who predicted he would become a great saint, and who grew up in the Hathras community presided over by Sir Swami. As an adult, he eventually spent some time in Agra. He was close friends with a Radhaswami devotee by the name of Padma Das, who invited him to the Radhaswami Satsang in Agra, where Padma Das introduced Baba Devi to Rai Salagram, who was guru there after the time of Soamiji Maharaj. Quote, Padma Das took Baba Devi to Rai Bahadur Salagram's Satsang. There, Padma Das narrated to Salagram Sahib about Baba Devi's story, his intensified devotion right from childhood, the demise of his parents at a young age, his firm determination and increasing intuition to spend his life as a yogi in a lonely place of solitude. Hearing all of these, Rai Salagram asked Baba Devi, "Do you know the method of meditation which you wish to practice in a secluded place?" "Yes," Baba Devi replied humbly. Then Salagram Sahib asked, "From where have you received this instruction?" Baba Devi said, "I am a disciple of Sant Tulsi Sahib, and he himself has blessed me." Then Salagram Sahib became very glad to hear it and said to Baba Devi that you are a member of my own family because Sant Tulsi Sahib was my most reverend. Rai Salagram Sahib further explained about the association of his guru, Shiv Dayal Swamiji, and Sant Tulsi Sahib's disciple, Girdhari Das. He disclosed that his guru, Shiv Dayal Ji, used to say that Shiv Dayal had been greatly benefited with his association with Baba Girdhari Das, a disciple of Sant Tulsi Sahib. Unquote, from the biography of Baba Devi Sahib, excerpted in English at the Sadguru Mehi website on a web page titled Life and Teachings of Baba Devi Sahib. There are some Indian scholars, and I cite them in my paper on this topic, that actually believe that Soamiji Maharaj was initiated by Sant Girdhari Sahib. Now, I don't believe that that's the case, but, they're not a part of Sant Mat. That's not their path, but they do have access to all of these Hindi documents, and they just take note of all of this association and warmth, the connections between Soamiji Maharaj and Girdhari Sahib, and just assume that Girdhari Sahib is his primary initiating guru. Now, most who are acquainted with Sant Mat or a part of Sant Mat or the Radhaswami faith may realize that Soamiji Maharaj was initiated when he was younger by Sant Tulsi Sahib of Hathras. But they see a lot of warmth. These scholars, these Indian scholars, see a lot of connection, a lot of warmth and close association between Girdhari and Swamiji, and just assume that Swamiji was initiated by Girdhari. I would say that a good analogy of the relationship would be this. Darshan Singh was initiated by Huzur Baba Sawan Singh, but after Sawan Singh's passing in 1948, associated with Master Kirpal Singh. So Darshan Singh was initiated by Sawan Singh, an earlier guru of the lineage, but associated with Kirpal Singh. And I think that's what we're seeing in the life of Soamiji Maharaj. He was initially initiated by Tulsi Sahib of Hathras, but became associated with Girdhari Sahib after Tulsi's passing. And so it's like Darshan Singh and associated with Kirpal after the passing of Sawan Singh. I think that is a accurate, spot-on way of describing the nature of the relationship precisely. I would say that pretty much does it right there. And so after the passing of Girdhari Sahib, that's when Soamiji Maharaj goes public with the Radhaswami Satsang and becomes the primary guru of this branch, the head of this branch that became very kind of separate, going its own way, quite separate from the Lucknow Satsang. You're hearing Spiritual Awakening Radio. There's lots more to come, more descriptions of the relationship between Swamiji and Girdhari, a very wonderful story about Swamiji traveling through the great void in meditation and getting stuck in the great void and consulting with his gurus on the inner planes. Just a wonderful story found in the Sarbachan and commented on by another Radhaswami guru who is very much acquainted with Tulsi Sahib and Sant Girdhari Sahib, that provides us with more confirmation of this relationship with this lesser-known guru of Radhaswami by the name of Sant Girdhari Sahib. Stay tuned for more Spiritual Awakening Radio coming up. Sant Girdhari Sahib, the unknown guru of Sant Mat, the unknown guru of Radhaswami. Part 1 on today's edition of Spiritual Awakening Radio. I'm skipping ahead a little bit. There are some Indian scholars that also characterize the nature of Swamiji's relationship with Sant Girdhari Sahib, and they find a close relationship there based on the Hindi documents they have access to. I'll skip ahead a little bit. You can read the entire paper on this subject. Listen for my email address and text message number. I'll share with you a link to this ebook paper on this subject with all of the footnotes and quotations and references. In the Tulsi Sahib branch of Sant Mat, there are 2 initiations. The first initiation is into the meditation practices of Simran, Manas Jap, the repetition of sacred names, Manas Dhyan, visualizing the form of the Master, and Dristi Sadhana, inner light meditation at the third eye center. After the student-disciple is established in the experience of inner light during their meditations, Then at some point there is given the second initiation, which is into the practice of Surat Shabd Yoga, inner sound meditation. This twofold approach to initiation is the old school way of doing it in the Tulsi Sahib community and other older Sant lineages. Even if Girdhari Sahib was the person imparting or conveying the meditation instructions on both occasions to Swamiji, the timeline suggests it would have been with the blessings and authority of Tulsi Sahib very much alive, and so Swamiji would have regarded Tulsi Sahib as his initiating guru. What has come to light with these various accounts, above and below, the ones we've talked about and the ones we haven't gotten to yet, and is new, at least to most people, is that Swamiji Maharaj had a close affiliation with Sant Girdhari Sahib after the departure of Sant Tulsi Sahib in 1843. For Swamiji, Girdhari was the next guru or master of the lineage, and Girdhari was given by Swamiji Maharaj all of the respect of a competent living master and spiritual successor. In the Sarbachan Radhaswami poetry, Swamiji Maharaj describes his travel through the great void, the great darkness, and he was describing how his spirit was soaring and trying to get to the bottom of this great void. He was exploring it. This is in Surat Shabd Yoga meditation, or soul travel through the inner planes, and traveling to this realm known as Soon and Maha Soon. And in the Sarbachan, in a certain hymn of the Sarbachan, which I document in my paper, Swamiji was saying he just really couldn't get to the bottom of this great void. And in this description are references to multiple gurus. Spirits dwelling there are characterized by excessive delicacy, subtlety, refinedness, and purity. They don't have a trace of physical coarseness and impurity, Swamiji says in the Sarbachan poetry hymns. The details of this sphere are known only to fakirs. Full particulars of these regions are known only to Sants. In other words, to unfold more about this is not proper and advisable. For a long time, the spirit of this fakir, Swamiji referring to himself, lingered and stayed there, and then under the instructions from the teachers and guides, plural, in other words, moved ahead. And then in another reference in the Sarbachan poetry, he refers to being guided by the sages in his travels through this great void. In my paper, I have a quote, the whole thing quoted, using the quintessential discourse Radhaswami, the M.G. Gupta translation of Sarbachan, with also a portion of the S.D. Maheshwari translation of Sarbachan. For a long time, the spirit of this fakir lingered and stayed there, and under the instructions from the teachers and guides, moved ahead. That reference is commented on, that Sarbachan hymn is commented on by a disciple of Swamiji Maharaj by the name of Sant Garabdas, another successor of Swamiji, in his book Anmol Vajan. And in my paper on this Radhaswami chapter of history, I show a photo of the pages where Garabdas is commenting on Swamiji's hymn from the Sarbachan, commenting on who he names in his commentary. He names the teachers and guides referred to here by Swamiji, helping him out with his soul travel through the great void. Garabdas says those guides guiding Swamiji through the great void were Sant Tulsi Sahib of Hathras and Sant Girdhari Sahib. This has been part one of Sant Girdhari Sahib, the unknown guru of Radhaswami. If you'd like to read my paper on the subject that includes these quotes, all of these references, send me an email at this address, james@spiritualawakeningradio.com, james@spiritualawakeningradio.com. Request the Girdhari Sahib book or a link to it online. You can also send a text message to me at this number, 508-603-9381. On next week's program, we'll pick up right here with the Sarbachan Radhaswami poetry, Sant Garabdas's commentary on it, talking about Swamiji's association with Girdhari Sahib. This missing chapter or little-known chapter of Radhaswami history. I'll delve into who Garabdas was as a successor, a disciple of Swamiji, where he fits in, and some of his teachings as well. On part 2 of Maharaj Girdhari Sahib, the unknown guru of Radhaswami history. Tune in again next week at this same time for another edition of Spiritual Awakening Radio.